and welcome back to my channel. So today I have another Sims 4 speed build for you, and I decided to actually do an apartment in San Myshuno, and the whole inspiration for this apartment is a singular wallpaper that I saw while I was watching some other speed builds, like while I was working and editing. Like, it was a speed build from like several years ago. I forgot who I was watching, but they randomly had the wallpaper from the Myshuno pack, the yellow and black, like geometric one. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to use that. Like, and I've also talked about recently, I think there was a build, I think it was another apartment, and I did like an orange kind of aesthetic, and I was like, I really should do yellow because I don't do yellow so often, and it's not like my favorite color, so I should actually go out of my way to use it. And so I saw that wallpaper and I thought, you know what? This is the day. This is the day we're going to make an apartment with yellow wallpaper. So I was so excited. It took me a little while to figure out what I wanted for the kitchen, like how I wanted to tile it. And I still cannot wrap my mind around why some of these apartments have the tallest wall height like in the game. Like, seriously, this is so huge. Like, I was struggling a lot with like how to decorate this space to make it make sense given the fact that these ceilings are so incredibly high. And this isn't like the biggest apartment or anything, so just making it to where this makes sense like took me a little time, but honestly I think it looks so good. And I used a bunch of different like mirrors and textures to try to help make this like a more interesting space. And so I ended up using kind of like a two-tone cabinetry thing going on here with the white and the black. And don't worry, we're gonna go back and we're gonna add some clutter to the kitchen. I just wanted to figure out what the rest of this space was going to look like, and I figured that that yellow wallpaper really should not be everywhere because it is quite the statement piece, but I did want to have it as like a focal point in the room, and we do use it throughout the apartment as well. So we're going to focus on the yellow, black, gray, and white, or gonna, like, that's going to be our color scheme for this. And you may have seen I pulled out a random partition that we're actually going to use in the bathroom, but I swear I have never seen it in my life. Like, it came up and like I was filtering a lot by the colors I was using, and that's a tip, like if you're not sure what to build or you're using colors that you don't usually use, because like I don't use a lot of yellow, so it was really helpful that I sorted by yellow and it let me see items in the game that were yellow that I may not have otherwise known existed. And I was thinking that the sim that lived here, or the sim or sims that lived here, are something in Hollywood. Like, they did something with like movies, shows, something like that. Maybe they're photographers, a director, or I mean possibly an actor, but I was thinking more so along the lines of that, like photographer or actor. I mean, I just said not an actor or director. Oh my goodness, y'all, I am all over the place. This is the third voiceover I'm doing today, so that's where we're at right now. But I decided that I just wanted to incorporate some of those like movie posters in here to make that kind of look like that's the theme for this apartment. Now, obviously, you can download this and do whatever you want with it. It is already up on the Sims 4 gallery under my ID, Spice and Sprinkles, all one word and all lowercase, and down in the description if you want to see it written out. And like I say, you can do whatever you want. Use whatever sims you want. Like, you can change the decor, that's totally up to you, but let me know if you have a sim in mind. I would love to hear about it. And just trying to make this space, like, even though I was using like concrete floors, like I really did want this to still feel like a warm place to live. And I actually did size up those curtains that are on the wall. I believe those are from the university pack, and I really love them and I wanted to use them. So I had to use the tool mod, unfortunately. I try not to just because it takes more time, and like I don't think it does anything weird. I don't think you should like actually have any issues downloading it, but it just like is a little bit time consuming to to customize something to get it quite right when you're using the tool mod. But I figured it was worth it for those curtains because I just thought they worked so perfectly, but sizing them up was just too big, but they weren't quite the right size. So anyways, we figured it out and I think it looks really nice. And like the pictures we see here on the wall, that like collage, I've used it several times with the swatch that looks like a person, and both like the white and black swatches, and I've never used this one, so with the yellow. So this was a perfect opportunity opportunity for me to use it. And then just like a small cute little dining space. And again, this is space for like 2 Sims. Now I do include an office in here, so you can of course like redo that as another bedroom if you would like to, if your Sims, you know, family, it's expanding. But I did want to include an office because I figured if this was like a director or something, then they probably work a lot, and so it'd probably be nice to have a space for them at their home, or if they are like a photographer, and like a space for them to do work at home. Now I didn't include like a photograph like backdrop, if that makes sense, but I figured, you know, if that's something you wanted, you could add it. And just including a little bit of clutter inside of the cabinetry. I tried not to do too much because I didn't want to like, you know, overwhelm that space. And I tried to do some cool like layering kind of thing with the bar area, but I didn't really find something that I felt like worked really well here. So we did not do that here. But just adding a little bit of clutter in here. Of course, a fruit bowl, because I just can't help myself. We have to include that. And I decided to use, like I said, the mirrors and things like that to help just, I don't know, make this space a little more interesting and make up for the fact that the cabinetry is so high on the wall. Like, that is insane. No one's going to be able to reach that. Now, obviously, it's The Sims. You don't need to, but it's just like, it is something I think about. And I did not know that the Eco Lifestyle, like, toilet and sink came in a black and yellow swatch. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I had no idea that even existed, but we do have a half bath in here, so that's actually really nice. In case your Sim has like guest over, that kind of thing. I mean, who knows? Maybe they have premiere parties and they have like their actors come over, like the ones that were in their movie, that kind of thing. I just thought that was really cute. So again, including just like a movie poster in that bathroom. And I do realize I had like mirrors on the door in the bathroom, which I know doesn't actually matter, but it kind of bugged me. So I put some curtains up. So your Sims do have some privacy, but I was able to use that door. And this is where we're using that partition, which was so perfect in this apartment. But like I said, I swear I've never seen it before. So it may be one of those things that it's like a hidden swatch that I just didn't know existed, but it just looks so cute in here. So creating like their own like walk-in shower kind of situation in a double sink, and using that like glowing like mirror that I never use, but I just thought it was so perfect here, especially with it being yellow in the back. And then we do include the toilet kind of over by the shower, and we do put some organization above it as well. And I thought about using the toilet we had already used, but I don't know, I didn't feel like it fit here with the sinks that I had chosen, so we did something a little differently. And then just including that cats and dogs, I was gonna say poster, I guess picture painting, whatever you want to call it, on the wall. I thought that looked really nice here in this space. And then just including, of course, a bunch of clutter from the bathroom, like clutter kit. So just things that I felt like would be, you know, useful in a bathroom, just kind of putting that over there. And again, like I didn't want the space to be super cluttered. So that's about it for the bathroom. And for the bedroom space, like the bedroom space is actually like super big. So it even has its own sitting area as well. So again, lots of space. So you could definitely move stuff around if you wanted to, and have like, you know, more Sims in this apartment. But I just figured maybe it's just a really nice like kind of luxury apartment for whoever lives here. And trying to pick a bed was a bit difficult, but I kind of went with that like classic, it just looks like some pillows and a duvet cover, and I thought it looked so cute. But I combined it with this couch, which I thought was like a really nice headboard, again because the walls were so tall. I felt like I needed to do something that made that space make a little more sense. And then using some of that like wood, like what did I call it earlier, like pieces, anyways, on the wall over by where the nightstands would be, I thought would be really nice. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm really excited about the sitting area in this apartment, specifically in the bedroom here. I actually create like a custom looking fireplace that is surrounded by like a bunch of storage and closets. And I will say, like, I'll talk a little bit about once I actually start building that fireplace, how to actually use it, since like I said, it was like a custom fireplace. So it's not like something that you just turn on like a normal fireplace. But what I actually ended up doing was utilizing the like ring that you use for training pets, the one that you can like light on fire. So I used it and like sized it down, and it's in that little space and it creates the fire that you'll see. So I do have it like turned on a little bit later, and in the screenshots you can see I kind of like just sized it down. But if you download this off the gallery, and what you may have to do is just move that little piece out, so that ring, tell your sim to light it, and then you just put it back in the fireplace, and then you just have a fire. And I thought it looked really nice and very custom for this space, because we, of course, we don't have like very many small fireplaces, but again, something that is going to be large enough to make sense in this apartment. I'm telling you, it was a little bit of a struggle, and I forgot that this apartment had such tall ceilings, but I think it looks really cool in the end. Like, I think we really did make it work pretty well here. And then just adding in a bunch of stuff here, and just excuse the random pop-ups from my better build buy. I accidentally turned off my organized debug and had to turn it back on, so that's what that was doing, which basically just names like all of your items and puts it in like the proper places. Like, for instance, like it takes the like cars, the debug cars, and places it in like the transportation category, so you can more easily find that stuff and have it in the catalog where it makes sense. So that's what that is, if you were curious. And again, like, I know I've talked about the better build buy mod recently, but highly recommend if you enjoy building. And then just creating this really nice cozy sitting area for the Sims to hang out in, and I think it just is so cute. And then putting that new tray from the Book Nook kit over on that couch, so you're like, the idea being your Sims can like curl up and read a book, and it was just super adorable. And this is the office that I was talking about, so I put a desk in here and just clutter that I thought would make sense for whether you go with like a photographer or a director or something like that. And I mean, there's not really a director career, I don't believe, but you know, pretend like, or maybe like you're in the actor career or something like that. But that's just like the idea I had for the kind of sim that would live here. So again, just adding a little bit of storage in here, and we do end up putting, I think, like the photograph, the person that I was talking about earlier, I think I might put that in here. I'm trying to remember over on that wall, but I think, again, I'm using that a couple of times because it is a really tall piece, and it does, I feel like, make sense, and it looks really nice in this space. So I included a couple cameras, like the tripod, stuff like that. So if your sim does take pictures and wants to get into photography, they can do so. Like, that stuff is here for them. And then just adding in a little more clutter here on the desk to try to just make it look a little more lived in. And again, some of the stuff from the Book Nook kit actually came in really nicely here, just a few of the posters and things like that, because again, I figured, like, being in the film industry, you'd probably have like different posters of a variety of different things, shows, movies, that kind of thing. And just adding a little bit in here and trying not to make it too overwhelming. And then I think I add in, another poster above here as well. I have no idea what that movie would be for, but I don't think I've ever seen that, I swear. Like, I don't think I've seen that movie poster in the game before, but I thought it looked really cute. And just finishing up a little bit of decor here in the hallway, which also had the laundry room that I totally forgot to talk about. But if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I hope you have a really sweet day. Bye, everybody.
Nobody told me to settle down. Day nights and late nights don't get around. But there's something about you I like. About you I like. You're crazy for saying I should slow down.